So if you've been watching Hellwarz channel, he's got a video up. His 16th channel has received strikes against it. What makes it very unusual about this channel strike is he's got no copyright claims on no claims on his copyright ID, but he's got some kind of claim on intellectual property user material. I don't understand that at all. But he asked me to do a video on what happened with my channel. And basically, if you've been watching my channel, about 2 years ago, something very weird happened at the last Bilderberg protest. And I made some videos about it. Caliber Hitters saw it at the same time. We did some channels, some video reports on it, like some Skype conferences, and I uploaded them. And then Nuke Wars came in, and a whole bunch of other people came in and said, for different reasons, they all saw the same thing. So what I saw was, I went to the last couple Bilderberg protests to check them out because they're near my home, and I saw Adam Kokesh there, Ajax Loans, and Mark Dice, and a few other activists like Jason Burns. Pat Henningsen was there. Now, by the way, the only person who bothered to say hi to me was Pat Henningsen and Charlie Skelton. I had cancer surgery 5 years ago, and I get tired easy. Charlie Skelton gave me a ride back up the hill. So they chased us all like a mile away from the hotel protest, and we had a big walk there, so Charlie Skelton gave me a ride back. But Mark Dice and Alex Jones seem friendly, and there's even a video up, you can check it out, of them shaking hands. Now, at the same time, Mark Dice was feuding with Ajax Loans, saying that his vitamins, he was defaming his vitamins and a lot of other stuff, which I don't really care about that. If you watch Hellwarz channel, we don't really care about the drama. We just care about the issues. And I even go another step up. I tell him, you use the "go F yourself" phrase too much. And he kind of laughs about it. Sometimes he gets angry. But one of the things when I was going through colleges, they taught us was, and even after I hear a lot of my friends say that, we have modern language to convey or express our ideas. So if I use the F word, if I drop the F-bomb in the process of trying to convey my idea, my argument sort of loses credibility. Although there's people who are obnoxious enough I'll use it with, because they think they're better than everybody else. And they're not and I'm not. So getting back to that, I'll just use Adam Kokesh for an example. If I want to talk about Adam Kokesh and communist TV, there's 10 other words I could use to describe Adam Kokesh: beater, sellout, shill, non-credible. I don't know if I said beater or not. Washed up, has been, and I need 3 more to go. Dirty, dirty, lazy, communist scumbag. So, scumbag is kind of like Mark Dice's word that I use there. But my channel had 3,700 subscribers. I had monetization on my channel. I had one video, my best videos are technical videos. Had one video with 17,000 views. Typically uploaded a video, I'd get 700 or 800 views. People could comment on the videos. Now, since they added Google Plus, you don't, and I talked to Payne's Court about this. He's pretty well known in the truth movement. His subscriptions have dropped. My views have dropped. And so you'll see people like Mark Dice, Adam Kokesh with 10,000 views, even though now Mark Dice's video channel got kicked off. I suspect it was all an uncredible move to kind of like say, oh, well, Mark Dice's channel got banned too. See, he's for real. And he's not, because he's got an address at Camp Pendleton. So, if I put information up on how to look up Mark Dice's Camp Pendleton address, then he would move to have a copyright strike on my channel. So it's like these constant little chess games on how to run a YouTube channel, and be an activist, and yet you got to dot all your T's and cross all your I's. That being said, I mean, other stuff they've done to my channel. I made $0 on my monetization in 6 to 7 years. Somebody came in and offered to pay me off and clear out my channel, and I thought, then I'll have to sign a non-disclosure contract, and I won't have any intellectual contribution as far as what goes on my channel. I might not even own my channel. So, you know, I asked them some questions, and they know I was leading, like, how much money am I going to make and all that. And they just, no answers or anything. But, you know, Hellwarz talks about all these channels that are up. The guy who works for E3, he's supposedly an actor. He kind of looks like that one that was in 16 Candles. All he talks about is an asteroid's going to hit the Earth and wipe out all humanity. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtleneck guy, he's a washed up actor. I mean, it's not like Caliber Hitters came out and said these guys are washed up actors, and just like Dallas Goldbug put some person in that doesn't even look like. These people have same matching dental records, same height as some washed up actor that died 10 years ago in a drug overdose. You can't find any private information out of them, and they all have a drug problem. So I mean, it's kind of sounds like he said, she said drama, the truth movement. But look at what happened the last few weeks with two of the former Infowars people. Went to a party with some of these people. Somebody dropped something in their drinks. I'm assuming it's LSD because they said they saw streamers and trailers and they were out of their mind walking home. That sounds just like LSD, and the government has been screwing with people in LSD since the 70s. There's all kinds of documents on it. A document came up this week on the KGB was doing the same thing. So who knows? Maybe the KGB was working with LSD, and the CIA picked it up based on what the KGB was doing. So you have to wonder if these two people who were former InfoWars insiders, did they, you know, were they going to drug them and pick them up on the side of the road and try to MK Ultra them, or are they just kind of trying to discredit them and all that? So this video pops up with Anthony Giacardi on Pete Santilli's site. You can go look it up. I'm not going to even put any videos up because then somebody's going to make a move for a copyright strike. And Anthony Giacardi's doing a Mark Dice move. He's doing a shoot on Alex Jones. The other person who's in the conversation is cut out. They're saying now it was probably Mark Dice. The two former InfoWars people are being blamed for it. And I'm thinking, you know, probably all these people that Glenn is saying shitty, and I've been suspecting they're shitty for 2 years. You know, I would think that they're all implicated in trying to tar baby these two former InfoWars employees. The two former InfoWars employees said they don't want anything to do with InfoWars. They don't want to be dragged into this. They just want to report on foods or whatever and be left alone. So, you know, it's just kind of tons of drama. Glenn wanted me to report on it. That's a report on some of what's going on. Originally, I just wanted to have a channel with my dog on it, things that I was painting or projects. I like to fix up old houses and fix things. And then I started, always suspected, well, it wasn't suspected, I mean, ever since like the early 90s, Bush has come out and said he wants to establish a new world order. There's all these in the movement, and in the new world there's all these Freemasons. When Hellwarz was asking me what was going on, I said I suspect these people who are involved in this are Freemasons because they all seem to know each other. They all seem to have the same habits and the same language. And so I slowly started documenting that because I think activism is important. If you get involved in activism, When I used to go to D.C., I lived near D.C. My family would take me to D.C. growing up. There would be this big van parked in the middle of D.C., and it would be like an old beat up van with all kinds of crazy stuff, written in red paint on the side. Washington D.C. is a despotous cesspit of immoral, Satan-worshipping scumbags who care nothing but killing and murdering children, unborn children, and starting wars all over the world. And there would be like the whole side of the van would be full of this crazy stuff. But it's some truth to it. I think we tend to gloss over these things as a society, and we see a park and a family playing, and we think that's nice. But more increasingly, that park is becoming smaller. That family. There was an article this week on how the article, I was researching something. It was talking about childless families, which I think is somehow a indicator of what I'm talking about, and that's a healthy indicator rather than having a society that's focused on destroying people and families and children. Why not just have a society that is not producing children? I mean, it's kind of a sick answer, but it seems like the less evil out of all those things that are going on. But that's just my response. I'm gonna do a 15-minute video on what Glenn was talking about. That's my basic response. My channel got a strike against it. I shut the channel down for 1 or 2 months and didn't do any videos. I'm careful about what content I post on my channel. The comments don't seem like, unless they're releasing personal information on stalking people, it doesn't seem like that's a problem. If you have somebody stalking you on your channel, you can click on about, flag the user, and then just block them from your channel. That's kind of a good way to get people off of doing stuff to your channel. My other friend, he had 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers on his channel. He's getting 50 or 100 views. I mean, the types of things we want to report on as far as generating topics on our channels are things like Senate Bill 281, the gun safety bill in Maryland, just social issues that impact our society in a negative way. Dirty politicians. I'm interested in liberty, which is a delegated amount of freedom. There's more and more people who are trying to hijack the umbrella of liberty to say, and liberty includes murdering the unborn, unlimited drugs. It's, as far as my perception of liberty is, we really have to take back certain Payne's Court said this, certain words or vernacular in our society are being hijacked. Liberty is not an unlimited amount of freedom to do whatever you want, because at some point that impacts another person. And Alex Jones said I don't agree with that definition, but that's exactly what liberty is it's a restricted amount of freedom. Like when you're in the military and you get 2 or 3 days off, they call it a liberty pass to do whatever you want. It's like you couldn't sell secrets to the Russians with that, but yet there's certain people in the liberty movement that despise the idea of communism 40 years ago, but now they don't really see communism as a bad thing. I mean, did communism not become a bad thing, or did we just become so despotic as a society that we can support immorality and godlessness in our society? And then you say, well, look at the consequences. What are the consequences of living in an immoral, godless society? Everybody suffers. So that's my opinion on that. I'm sorry, Hellwarz channel is on channel number 16. This is more like a chess game, so as far as that, you got to think out your moves 2 or 3 moves in advance. Right now you're locking down your channel and you're trying to protect your channel, so that's a good start.